I'm Katie Couric. Tonight, America on alert. Tight security at airports and train stations. And extra police are ordered for the big holiday fireworks displays. Britain on edge. Police are blowing up more suspicious cars. Investigators say they have proof the same people who tried to bomb Glasgow Airport also tried to bomb London. Think bigger is better on the highways? Most SUVs, minivans, and pickups don't have adequate head restraints. Does yours make the grade? And finally, a good excuse to eat a little chocolate, but just a little.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Hello, everyone. One of our most treasured national holidays is coinciding this year with a heightened safety concern brought on by that British terror plot. And more Americans are expected to travel this 4th of July week than ever before. The AAA expects 41 million to get away by plane, train, or automobile. And in cities across the country, security is being stepped up at major celebrations. Nancy Cordes is in New York City, where a huge fireworks display will be held tomorrow night. Nancy, they're taking a lot of precautions there, aren't they?
They really are, Katie. In fact, nearly every major American city is taking last-minute steps to boost its security plans. Here in New York City, for example, home to the nation's largest 4th of July celebration, the police will be manning the bridges. They'll be having checkpoints at parking lots, in train stations, and at the airports. This Coast Guard crew patrolling San Francisco Bay expects tomorrow to be its busiest day of the year. This 4th of July, all U.S. Coast Guard commanders have been ordered to increase their patrols of waterfront celebrations.
We've got the massive influx of boaters that'll be out on the 4th. Plus, we've got the Golden Gate Bridge that is a primary threat target.
On the banks of Boston's Charles River, while rocker John Mellencamp warmed up, police were clamping down, closing the adjacent thoroughfare a full 24 hours before the first crowds are due to descend. In Washington, D.C., the FBI is calling on local vendors to report suspicious purchases of gas canisters and propane tanks, the same items that were used to make the bombs in Glasgow and London. Beyond that, the FBI is urging all Americans to keep their eyes open.
This isn't just us asking. This is us insisting because of what has transpired internationally, what we face nationally. That vigilance cannot rest.
As a symbol of American independence, the 4th of July has long been considered an attractive target date for terrorists. But the TSA says because of the UK bombings last weekend, it is deploying even more armed Viper teams than it had planned this holiday. The highly visible units are patrolling train stations in New York, Houston, and other major cities, where large numbers of people will take rapid transit to Independence Day festivities. And while federal officials insist there is no intelligence to indicate an imminent attack on U.S. soil, local police from coast to coast say they do not want to take any chances. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, New York.
Meanwhile, Great Britain remains on edge tonight, though authorities believe they have picked up all the prime suspects in the plot to blow up cars in London and the airport in Glasgow, Scotland. We've also now learned that 7 of the 8 are doctors, but it's not known if they acted on their own or were part of a larger conspiracy. We have 2 reports tonight, beginning with Mark Phillips in Glasgow.
It's still a nervous time here. Police have been blowing open suspicious cars around Glasgow, as the search for the planners of these attacks has led them back to the scene of the crime. Investigators now believe the same people who tried to bomb Glasgow Airport also planted the 2 dud car bombs in London a day earlier. The 2 ringleader suspects arrested at the airport are Iraqi-born doctor Bilal Abdullah and another foreign doctor now identified as Khalid Ahmed, who was badly burned in the bombing attempt. All of the suspects now being held are foreign doctors or health workers who've worked in Britain. For potential terrorists, it was a useful cover.
I think they were able to keep their covers going by leveraging off that natural respect that we have for doctors. So it's almost, a perfect system for a terrorist.
Living here just outside Glasgow, they blended in.
Oh, yeah.
Police have dug up a recording of Abdullah ordering a taxi.
What's your name? Abdul, going to the airport? Yes, the airport.
Not only was it frighteningly easy for the bombers to get into the country, getting the ingredients for their bomb was surprisingly easy as well. They only had to drive about 5 miles here to their local home improvement center, where they bought the gas canisters for about $60 each. And if Glasgow has new villains, it has a new cult hero too.
And we've just tried to attack the guy, try to get the guy.
John Smeaton, the baggage handler who helped subdue the bombers, has become the champion of a slew of websites, most offering to buy him a drink. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Glasgow.
This is Sheila McVicker in London. Chaos at Heathrow. With Britain's threat level still at critical, disruption, this time for a false alarm, is becoming routine. And now the investigation has gone global, with the arrest of suspect number 8, another doctor in Australia. Dr. Mohammed Hanif, who used to practice in England, was arrested at Brisbane Airport with a one-way ticket to India. With that arrest, British investigators are confident they now have all the major players in this terror plot. There are 8 suspects. 7 are male doctors. The 8th is the wife of a doctor. Security sources say she will likely be released. Of the 7 remaining, beyond their profession, there is no pattern. 2 are Iraqis, 2 are Indian Muslims, 2 are likely Saudis, and 1, the central figure, is Jordanian. Some are newly qualified, 1 may be older and more senior. What's not clear is where were these doctors recruited and how did they come together?
The security services are working on the basis that this looks like an externally driven, internationally inspired plot.
Intelligence sources tell CBS News at least some of the doctors may have been recruited in the Middle East and sent to Britain. Iraq's national security advisor tells CBS News that he's been warning American and British authorities that al-Qaeda has been systematically infiltrating operatives into Europe. And he says al-Qaeda is changing its style, now seeking to recruit the highly intelligent and well-educated, just like the doctors in this plot. Sheila McVicker, CBS News, London.
Here at home, a lot more fireworks today over President Bush's decision to commute Scooter Libby's 2.5-year prison sentence in that CIA leak case. The latest controversy was sparked by what the president said he may or may not do in the future. From the White House, here's Bill Plant.
A day after he commuted Louis Libby's prison sentence, President Bush raised the ante by leaving the door open to an eventual pardon.
As to the future, I'm, rule nothing in and nothing out.
Defending himself today, Mr. Bush said that while the jury's guilty verdict should stand, Libby's 2.5-year sentence was too severe.
Made a judgment, a considered judgment, that I believe is the right decision to make in this case, and I stand by it.
The president's decision triggered a wave of bitter criticism from Democrats.
The president is just saying he was loyal to me and therefore he doesn't have to serve.
Not so, says Mr. Bush's press secretary.
The president does not look upon this as granting a favor to anyone.
But that's how the presidential power to pardon or commute has often been seen. Pardons which wipe away the conviction are relatively common. The president's father pardoned Caspar Weinberger before he went to trial in the Iran-Contra case. President Clinton pardoned financier Mark Rich on his last day in office. Commutations, the shortening of a sentence, are much more rare. Richard Nixon let labor leader Jimmy Hoffa out of jail. Jimmy Carter commuted the sentence of Patty Hearst.
You commute instead of pardon because you want the best of both worlds.
In the Libby case, says Andrew Cohen, the president is having it both ways.
The conservative base gets what it wants, and the president still can try to make the pitch that by refusing to do a pardon, he's still giving some deference and respect to the jury's verdict and to the trial judge.
And where's the Vice President Cheney in all of this? Well, White House officials say they have no idea whether or not he tried to intervene on behalf of his longtime aide, Scooter Libby. As usual, the Vice President left no fingerprints. Katie?
Bill Plant at the White House tonight. Meanwhile, the ultimate political power couple is on the campaign trail together tonight. Former President Bill Clinton has joined wife Hillary on the stump in Iowa, a crucial state to win if the New York senator is to capture the Democratic nomination. Jim Axelrod is in Iowa City tonight.
By day 2 of Hillary Clinton's 2-for-1 barnstorming trip through Iowa, she and her husband, the former president, had the formula down. He set her up, talking for less than 10 minutes.
I know some people sort of say, well, you know, look at them, they're old. And they're sort of yesterday's news, you know. Well, yesterday's news was pretty good.
Then, she moved it forward from there for half an hour.
Well, if you're ready for change, I'm ready to lead. And I hope to be able to persuade you to give me your support.
But Bill Clinton's presence on the campaign trail raises issues. First off, that he and his highly developed campaign skills could overshadow her.
I think the Hillary campaign has understood that, recognizes that he has some great assets. You already have the other issues attached to the campaign to begin with, so you might as well use him early, use him to the greatest degree possible, because I do think he brings a lot of assets to the table.
Of course, the other big concern about bringing Bill Clinton out here is the baggage he brings with him. Memories of Monica Lewinsky and impeachment. But that's not an issue, at least not yet. And not for these people. They're the Democratic faithful, and for them, Bill Clinton is a walking, talking link to what they remember as better days.
You don't see a guy with baggage out here?
You're damn right I don't. I see a good-looking man that I love, and a woman.
So for now, all's good. They're in front of friends. It's when she must win over those who don't share the golden memories that Bill Clinton's value will be truly tested. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Iowa City.
There's much more CBS News ahead. Coming up next, why inadequate head restraints are enough to give you whiplash.